Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me for another video. Today marks the start of the 2023-24 NHL season. Puck dropped this evening with 3 different games on tap and then a full slate tomorrow to really get the season going. So I wanted to celebrate by showing some graded hockey cards here on the channel, and this should be fun. Picked out one card from every decade from the 1950s through the 2010s. I've never shown any of these on the channel, and I think every one of them was acquired for $30 or less. So these will kind of be budget graded hockey cards to kick off the season here. We'll go oldest to newest. Check out this beautiful card from the 1959 Parkhurst release, Charlie Hodge. And went with this one just because of the awesome imagery. I love that old school net. It's just hilarious. Great shot here of the brown pads, the wooden stick, that Habs jersey. If you're a Canadiens fan, this is like a must-have card, I would think, just because of that image. Hodge was a backup goalie for a lot of his early career with Montreal, but kind of emerged in the 60s in a starting role. Had a lot of success. He's won Stanley Cups, as has the next guy we're going to look at. And we'll take a look at the back of this card first, though. But really, it's all about the front. That is a clean back. And Parkhurst, for those that don't know, there was a period in the 50s where Parkhurst was really the only company making hockey releases. So they're the most common 50s hockey card. You could kind of think of them as similar to Bowman, maybe, in the world of baseball in that respect. So there's a Charlie Hodge beauty to get us started. Next guy also won numerous Stanley Cups with the Canadiens, although this is after a trade, this card here from the 60s, the 1961 Topps release, Dollard St Laurent. Probably butchered the pronunciation on his name there, but I think he won either 4 or 5 Stanley Cup championships as a defenseman. And this card I really just grabbed because I couldn't believe the condition it was in. For a card that's now, over 50 years old by quite a bit, over 60 years old, actually, at this point. Looks gorgeous, perfectly centered. There's a little, actually, I think that's even on the case. So there's not even any surface damage. I don't know why this got a 7, but gorgeous card. And again, this was like $20. Just an opportunity. I didn't know much about him, but I learned a little bit more after I acquired the card. And maybe it's one that I would part with someday or send out in a trade, but for now I'm happy to have it for the price. And I've never shown it on the channel before, so that was a good choice for the 60s. Moving into the 70s now, and we have this 72 Topps Bobby Orr in the background with this kind of beige cardboard looking border. And I have another from the O-Pee-Chee release that year, 1972. I've talked about these before, but at the end of the checklist, the NHL O-Pee-Chee set, they did some WHA cards as a final series. That was the World Hockey Association. That was a rival league that had spun up to challenge the NHL. And here is one of those cards. It's in a low grade, a PSA 4, but it looks great. This is Ab McDonald of the Winnipeg Jets. Check that out. Great, like, pastel colored background there. And I'm just a sucker for these. I love all things WHA. It was like a wild, crazy league. They had almost no money. The stories that came out of that and those teams, it was just incredible. Really wild time to be a hockey fan. And so ultimately, someday, I'd like to collect all of the WHA cards, the high-numbered WHA cards from the 72 O-Pee-Chee set. They don't need to be graded. I have plenty that are ungraded as well. But this one was just really cheap, so scoop that up, and that's a cool 70s card. Jumping ahead to the 80s next, going to look at the first set that I ever collected in all of my sports card collecting, what got me into this hobby all the way back in the winter of 1989. My dad used to bring my brothers and I home packs of this, and the 3 of us would sit around the kitchen table, open our packs, chew our gum, sort our cards into our binders, trade each other for doubles, all that stuff. And that was the 1989-90 Topps set. And I found this card recently, picked this up over the summer, actually, this past summer in the hockey off season. the 89 Topps. This is the box bottom hand-cut card of Wayne Gretzky, the great one. Same deal here. I know a lot of you that watch the channel are baseball collectors, so you'll be familiar with these box bottoms from the world of baseball. And Topps also did them for hockey around the same time. And just like with baseball, they did give them a proper back. So on the inside of the box, they would print statistics in a card back, so that when you cut this out of the box, you would have what really feels like a proper, licensed NHL card. I love these things. Definitely trying to work on kind of a little run of Wayne Gretzky box bottoms specifically. Slabbed if I can find them. I don't care about the grade. A lot of times these grade authentic because they are hand cut. In this case, this one is a 5, but was a super affordable, really cool Wayne Gretzky card with tons of nostalgic appeal to me. Just knowing that that's the first set that I ever collected that got me into this hobby over 30 years ago. Moving on to the 90s now, and this is another one that reminds me of my dad because in 1994, I took a trip with him to New York City in the summer of 94 to catch a Yankees-Red Sox game at the old Yankee Stadium. And this was right after the Rangers had just won the Stanley Cup behind the efforts of Captain Mark Messier. I even had purchased a Rangers Stanley Cup champions hat while in the city that I wore when I was a kid. And so this card from 1994 Pinnacle is just awesome for those memories that it brings back of that summer. Messier was, famously Wayne Gretzky's teammate on those super successful Edmonton Oilers teams of the 80s. Gretzky departed first, and Messier won another cup with Edmonton without Gretzky. And then he went on to win a cup in New York as well, captaining the team without Gretzky. Captained 2 franchises to a Stanley Cup, won an insane number of Stanley Cups. This guy was just so successful. And check out the foil work on this card. I love this image. It's one of my favorite images on any hockey card from the 90s. But if you can get it in Dufek's version here from Pinnacle, which is known as Rink Collection, it's the same technology that you may know as like Museum Collection on the baseball side, but just an awesome card. I've shown at least 1, maybe 2 copies of this ungraded that I've picked up and maybe pulled out of the cheese box or something over time. But when this one surfaced in a PSA 9, just like I like, for I think around $25, just smashed by it now. And it's worth having this in the collection to me, just for the nostalgia alone and the amazing technology that was Dufek's. Look at Messier's face just glowing there. Just an awesome, awesome card. So there's the 90s. Moving into the 2000s, and this card is somebody who, in my opinion, he seems to be kind of forgotten about a little bit over the last couple of years. I'm a huge Alex Ovechkin fan and collector. I don't have any of his cards in today's video, but I do have some to show off during the season. And as he's closed in on Wayne Gretzky's career goal record, you hear less and less about this man, Sidney Crosby. And for many years, it's been the great debate in hockey, Sidney Crosby or Alex Ovechkin. Who do you like more? They came out the same year due to a strike, even though they were both, number 1 draft picks. Ovechkin was delayed a year due to that work stoppage. And so they both debuted in the 2005 season. And it's been a debate ever since. And I would say for the first decade or more of that debate, it was Crosby like all the way. I mean, this guy has won everything you can win. He's been successful at every level, both individually in terms of scoring titles and 50-goal season and things like that. And more importantly, from a team perspective, Stanley Cups, multiple Stanley Cups, as captain and leader of the Penguins. He's won gold medals. He's won at the junior level. He's just been successful in everything that he's done. There's still some gas left in the tank, even in his late 30s here, just like there is with Ovechkin. And was really pumped to find this 3rd-year gold medallion parallel. These are not rare. They were like 1 per pack, but they're not easy condition-wise. They're very prone to damage. And getting this in a 9, I actually got this, of all places, on ComC. And it was about $20 to $25 worth of ComC credit, somewhere in that range, to get this 3rd-year Crosby. And, aside from the gold medallion kind of being a I guess, a noted parallel of the 90s and 2000s. I love the way it looks with the Penguins uniform. It's really like a team color matching parallel for a team that wears, black and gold or black and yellow. So awesome third year Sidney Crosby card there, and one that I'm really happy to have for the price. And then we're going to close it out with a 2010s card. And this is one that I know surfaced recently in a cheese box rummage, but I also picked it up over the summer in graded format when I found one at the $25 or less price point. And it is the Conor McDavid playing bubble hockey card. This is from the McDavid collection box set, which is just like, I think either maybe a 25 or 50 card box set that came out his rookie year that contained all McDavid cards. Of course, Upper Deck just cashing in on his talent and the level of hype behind him as a player. And so yeah, this is the one card in that set that really speaks to me. I love the table hockey McDavid shot here, and found this in a PSA 9 and decided to add a graded copy to my Conor McDavid collection as well, just because I'm a big believer in this particular single. So I think McDavid is probably the favorite, by a long shot to win another MVP and potentially scoring title. Really looking forward to seeing his season unfold and seeing if he can add to his legacy and maybe even add some team success or a deep playoff run to his resume. So happy hockey season, everybody. Really appreciate you stopping by and spending a few minutes of your time checking out some hockey cards on opening day or opening night. Hope you enjoy all the action. And as you know, I'll be back very soon with some more content. Till then, enjoy the hobby and the hockey. See ya.